Picture a
February
single wooden
28,
boat in thick North
2026.
Atlantic fog.
The United
November,
States and
985
Israel launched
of
the
the
most
Common Era.
intensive
4 days
precision
since the
strike
crew last
campaign
saw the
conducted
sun.
against
The water
any
barrels are
sovereign
half empty.
nation
The
since the
navigator
Second
raises
World
a small
War.
translucent
The opening
crystal to the
72
gray
hours
sky,
saw
turns it
over
slowly,
900
and sets a
strike
new
packages
bearing.
hit
By
18
sunset, he has
Iranian
corrected his
provinces
course by 17
simultaneously.
degrees.
Iran's response
Nothing
was
around him
immediate.
has changed.
480
The fog is still
ballistic
there. The sun
projectiles
is still
launched in a
invisible,
single
but he
calendar
knows
day.
exactly where he
7
is going.
nations
No
absorbing
compass. The
simultaneous
magnetic compass
impact
will not
across a
arrive in Europe for another
2,000-kilometer
200
arc from the
years.
Gulf to the
No
Mediterranean.
The sextant
Every
will not
analyst
be
watching
invented
that
for
data
another 8
concluded
centuries.
Iran was
No
entering its
astrolabe,
final hours.
no printed
Every
chart,
analyst
no
misread
latitude
the
indicator,
architecture.
no reference
5
point of
weeks
any
into the
kind in the surrounding
campaign,
whiteout.
approximately
Only
half
the
of
crystal in
Iran's
his
launch
hand and the
infrastructure
invisible
remains
mathematics of the
operational.
sky above him.
Thousands of one-way strike drones sit secured in underground facilities that conventional ordnance cannot access. Iran did not enter this conflict expecting to obliterate the opposing strike package.
Calcite
It entered this conflict
is a
expecting to
mineral
survive
with
it.
2 different
That
refractive
distinction
indices.
defines 40 years of Iranian
1.658
military
for the
investment.
ordinary ray,
This is Force Index.
1.486 for the
Initiate
extraordinary
sequence.
ray.
Iran's
When a single
declared
beam of
defense
sunlight
expenditure
enters the
runs
crystal,
$10
it
billion
splits into 2
annually.
rays
That
traveling
figure
at
is
slightly
deliberately
different angles.
incomplete.
The
The
angular separation
IRGC
is
operates on a
6
parallel
degrees,
financial
roughly the
architecture,
width of your little
petroleum
finger held
revenue,
at arm's
state-linked
length. If
enterprises,
the incoming light is
sanctions
polarized,
evasion
the 2
networks
rays come
that
out with
Western
different
analysts
intensities.
place at an
If the light
additional
is
10 to
unpolarized,
15 billion
the 2
per cycle.
rays come
Total
out
defense
equally bright.
investment approaches $25 billion. 575,000 active
This
personnel.
is the key. The light of the blue sky is not
420,000 Artesh,
unpolarized. It is polarized by the
125,000
physics of Rayleigh
IRGC.
scattering, the same
The
mechanism that
IRGC
makes the
does
sky
not
appear
report to
blue
the
in the
Defense
first
Ministry.
place.
It
Sunlight
reports
strikes
directly
the air
to the
molecules
Supreme
in the
Leader.
atmosphere
Iran does not
and
operate
scatters at
one
right
military.
angles to the
It
sun's
operates
direction.
2, with
That
separate
scattered
chains
light
of command,
is
separate
linearly
funding,
polarized,
and entirely
the
separate
polarization
mandates.
axis of
Add
any
the
given
besiege
point
at
in the
90,000,
sky is
and total
perpendicular
mobilization
to the line
capacity
connecting
approaches
that point
1
to the
million.
sun.
One
Even
force
under
defends
80%
Iranian
overcast,
territory.
the
The other
polarization
projects
pattern
Iranian
persists.
power without
The cloud
deploying
cover
a
reduces
single
the
Iranian
intensity but
soldier
preserves the
under an
axis.
Iranian flag abroad. The IRGC controls the ballistic projectile inventory,
The
drone
navigator
network,
raises the crystal.
the external
He looks
proxy
through it at a bright
architecture,
patch
the
of sky.
cyber arm.
He sees
Against
2
the world's
images of the
dominant
reference
coalition,
point,
the
one
manpower
brighter,
number is
one dimmer.
secondary.
He
The
rotates the crystal
IRGC is
until
the
the 2 images
calculation.
equalize
At the
in
tactical
brightness.
level,
At that exact
IRGC infantry
rotation,
carries the
crystal's
Kheibar
internal axis is
KH-2002
aligned with the
bullpup
sky's
rifle. That
polarization.
loadout is
The
irrelevant
navigator
to the
now reads the
strategic
angle of the
equation.
crystal
Iranian
relative to the
ground
horizon.
power operates
That
through
angle
the
defines the
Quds Force,
perpendicular
the
to the sun's
external branch
azimuth.
that does
The sun
not
is
fight
located
wars.
exactly 90
It builds
degrees
armed
from the red
factions
axis.
inside foreign
The navigator
sovereign
sets his
territory
bearing.
and
The
directs
sky
their
has
output.
just told him its
The
secret.
Quds Force
The
converted
crystal enters the
Hezbollah
light.
into a
The ray
precision
splits.
strike force
2 images
holding
appear. One brighter.
150,000
He rotates.
rockets and
The
guided
images
munitions
equalize.
aimed
He
at
reads the
Israeli
angle.
infrastructure
He sets the
nodes.
course. The
It
longship
built the
turns.
Houthi ballistic projectile program in Yemen from 0 material capability. Each
A Roman
Quds
galley
Force
navigator
advisor does
caught
not
in
add
overcast
one
on the
combatant
Mediterranean
to the order of
could
battle.
use only
Each
dead
advisor
reckoning,
multiplies the
estimating
operational
position from
output of
speed,
hundreds of
heading,
locally
and
recruited
elapsed
fighters.
time,
That
accumulating
is
50
asymmetric
to 100
advantage at the
kilometers
human
of
level.
error per day,
Unforgiving
and losing
to counter
all
because it
positional
has no
confidence
fixed
within
address.
3 days.
Now the heavy steel,
A Norse
and this is where
navigator
Iranian
carrying
doctrine
a
departs
sunstone
from
under
conventional
identical
logic.
overcast on the North Atlantic
Iran's armor
held his
inventory,
position within
T-72S
17
under
kilometers
Russian
of error
license,
per day
the
for the
Zulfikar
entire
series,
3-week
the Kheibar main
transatlantic
battle
crossing.
tank with a
The Norse navigation
125mm
philosophy
smooth
turned
bore
an
gun,
invisible property of
approximately
light into a
2,000
visible
armored
instrument.
vehicles.
The 13th century
Against combined
Icelandic
U.S.-Israeli
Raudolf
precision
manuscript,
fires,
part of the
that
saga
force
of
has a
Saint Olaf,
survivability window
records the
measured
earliest
in
literary
hours.
reference to the solar
Iran
sign
calculated
and
this 2
describes it in
decades ago
navigation
and chose
context.
not to compete in the armor domain. The deterrent went underground instead.
In 2011,
Iran's ballistic
a research team from the
projectile
University of
inventory is the
Rennes
largest
in France,
stockpile
led
held
by
by
Guy
any
Ropars and
non-nuclear
Albert
state in the
Lafloche,
Middle East. The
published an
Shahab 3
empirical
carries a
demonstration
single
in the
warhead to
Proceedings of the Royal
2,000
Society.
kilometers.
A showing
The
that a
Kheibar
calibrated
Shekan,
calcite crystal
4
reliably
matches that
locates
range
the
with a
sun to
maneuvering
within 1
re-entry
degree of
vehicle
accuracy
engineered to
under
impose
complete
terminal phase
overcast
geometry
conditions.
problems on
In
THAAD
2013,
and Arrow 3
the same
batteries.
team recovered a polished
The
calcite
Fatah
crystal
1
from
is
the
a
wreck of
claimed
the Alderney,
hypersonic
a
glide
16th century
platform
English
achieving cruising
vessel
Mach
found off the
13 to
Channel
15
Islands,
across
confirming the crystal
1,400
remained in
kilometers.
navigation service
The
centuries
vehicle
after the
maneuvers
Norse
below
era.
60 kilometers altitude at velocities that compress the intercept solution window window to
In
single-digit
2018,
seconds.
a research team from Eötvös
Day
Loránd
1 of
University in
Operation
Budapest,
Epic Fury,
led by András Zaz
480
and Gábor
launches
Horváth,
against 7
confirmed that the
regional target
polarization
sets
pattern of the sky under
simultaneously.
80%
No
cloud
air
cover
and missile
remains
defense
readable with
architecture in
calibrated
history has
calcite
faced
to
that
within 1
density
degree of
in a
accuracy.
single operational period.
Between
The math
985 and
produces a
1020 of
zero-sum
the
pressure
Common Era,
no defending
Norse
nation
Nur
can
crews
sustain. Each
completed
Patriot
regular
PAC-3
transatlantic
intercept
crossings
costs
along
$4
a
million.
4,000-kilometer
Each
route from
Shahed
western Norway
136
to
costs
Iceland,
$20,000 to produce,
to southern Greenland,
200
and
times the
Greenland
attacker's
to the coast
cost
of what
per
they called
engagement.
Vinland.
At scale across
Leif
5
Erikson
weeks,
made
that
landfall
arithmetic
on the North
becomes
American
structural.
continent
The
at or
Shahed
near
136
Lonso
is
Meadows
Iran's
in present-day
paradigm shift in
Newfoundland,
attrition
approximately
strategy,
500 years
45-kilogram
before
payload,
Columbus sailed from Palos.
2,500-kilometer reach, navigation hardened against jamming through iterations informed by
The Norse
real-world
settlement
intercept
at
data from the
Lonso Meadows
Ukrainian
was
theater.
excavated
The
by the
Shahed
Norwegian
129
archaeologists
adds
Helge and
1,700-kilometer
Einstein
strike
Ingstad
capability
in
with 8
1960,
guided munitions
confirming
per
the
sortie.
Vinland
The
sagas as
Shahed
historical
191
record,
Segi
rather than
extends that
literary
to 2,000
tradition.
kilometers
The
with a
typical
low
crossing
observable
time was 3 to 4
airframe. As of
weeks
April
in favorable
2026,
conditions,
thousands
extending
of
to
these
6
platforms
weeks when
remain in
prolonged
deeply varied
overcast
storage
required
facilities.
heavy reliance
Strikes
on the
targeted
sunstone.
entrances and
The
ventilation
sunstone was
shafts.
not used in
The
clear
inventory
sunlight.
inside
It was
remains
not used
largely
during
intact.
polar night.
In the Strait
It
of
was
Hormuz,
not used in storm
20%
conditions
of
where
global
visibility
petroleum
collapsed
supply
to zero.
transits a
It was
corridor
used in
40
exactly
kilometers
3
wide at
atmospheric
its
states:
narrowest point.
thick,
Iran
overcast,
designed an
twilight,
entire
and
naval
fog.
doctrine around
Those 3
that
states
choke point.
dominate the North
The
Atlantic climate
IRGC
from
Navy
late autumn
deploys
through early
fast
spring.
attack craft
Light
at
yields its
50-plus
secret.
knots, platforms that impose targeting geometry problems on surface fire control
Each
systems.
Nur captain
The
carried his own
conventional
sunstone.
Navy operates
The crystal was
Kilo-class
taught master
submarines
to
alongside
apprentice in
Gadir
navigation
midget
schools
platforms
across the
sized
Faroe
for the
Islands,
Persian Gulf's
coastal
shallow water
Norway,
column,
and
where
western
acoustic
Iceland,
detection
and
degrades
passed down within
substantially.
captains' lineages as a
Anti-ship
family
reach
instrument.
extends from
Somewhere in the North
35
Atlantic
kilometers
at this
to
moment,
700,
a modern replica
placing
Nur
U.S.
is
carrier
underway on a
groups in the
heritage
northern
voyage.
Arabian Sea
On its chart
inside
table,
the engagement
inside a
envelope.
waxed oak case,
The Sumar
a fresh
cruise
Iceland
platform
spar
adds a
crystal
claimed
rests.
2,000-kilometer
The captain will
reach
raise it
against
the next
fixed
time a fog bank
infrastructure.
closes
The Proxy
in.
architecture
The Rayleigh
converts
polarization
every
map
one
above
of
the
these
cloud layer is
capabilities
waiting.
into an
The next time you
external
open the
deterrent
GPS on
Iran
your
can
phone
activate
under an
without
open
exposing
sky,
its own
remember
territory.
that a second map exists
Hezbollah's
above your head.
stockpile.
Invisible,
4 decades of Iranian
polarized,
financing,
written continuously
deployable
by
without
the sun.
drawing down Iran's
1,000 years
primary
ago,
arsenal.
a navigator
The
taught
Houthi
himself to
program
read that
demonstrated
second map with
operational
nothing more than a
anti-ship
piece of
strike
clear
in
stone.
international sea
The
lanes
sunstone
through
is a monument to an
2024
instrument
and
so
into the
elegant
current
that modern
campaign.
optical physics had
The
to catch
Iraqi
up to
Popular
it.
Mobilization
by
Forces
the
maintain
sun.
assets between the Iranian border
of clear
and
stone.
Israeli strategic depth. Sea
Each
lanes
proxy
through
element
is a lethal external
meant to an
node
instrument
consuming
so elegant
defending
that
nation
modern optical
resources
physics
at
had to
zero
catch up
cost
to it.
to Iran's own inventory.
By the sun.
Dispersed. Deniable.
Piece of clear stone.
This is the survival doctrine in complete form. As of April 2026,
to an
the
instrument
Islamic
so
Republic
elegant that
operates
modern
under naval
optical
blockade. Its supreme leader of 37 years was eliminated in strikes on Tehran. Its conventional infrastructure has absorbed 5 weeks of the most sustained precision strike campaign in the post-Cold War period. And the force Iran actually built, the underground projectile cities, the drone production network, the IRGC's parallel command structure, the distributed proxy architecture across 4 sovereign territories, is still operational. The survival doctrine absorbed the opening exchange. The question that defines the next phase, with the political structure fractured and the IRGC still holding a functional arsenal, does the Islamic Republic pursue a negotiated framework, or does the projectile program represent an irreversible institutional commitment from which no successor leadership can retreat without triggering internal collapse? Drop your assessment in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.